Konnichiwa, y'all, and welcome back to another 10 at 10 video.
Guys, I'm Tim Nichols. This is my brother Matt. We're MrMaple.com. We list 10 new trees at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you came to our open house yesterday, we really appreciate it.
All right, guys, let's get into it. We've got Kenbu. This is an Acer palmatum with a linear lobulum style growth to it. A very unique one. This one shares some similarities with Kotonomito, but a much denser, smaller, rounder habit.
A selection by Masayo Yoshiyano, who wrote the book on Japanese maples. With some sunlight, this gives you some really nice bronze colors over top of this emerald green. It has a very unique shape, where it's just got that really nice face shape to it, and some really good color for this texture. I mean, this thing is amazing and gives you a unique tree. And I guess it has a purple-red bark to it as well.
Perfect linear lobulum for the container garden. Great pairing with something like Villa Toronto that isn't a big one as well. Absolutely love this plant. Yeah, anytime you can get a Yano-san plant, pretty cool. All right, guys, next up, we got Acer palmatum and Irene, guys. This is a variegated sport found on Summer Gold by our friends in Europe. Very fun plant. Now, I do find some really interesting changes to this plant from Summer Gold. It does share some of that heat tolerance. It does share some of that great yellow color. This one's gonna have a different leaf shape with a ruffle around it. And I find it to have a more columnar, narrow shape to it. Certainly not columnar in its overall stature, but way more narrow in its design than Summer Gold, which can get very multi-stemmed. Excellent heat tolerant plant.
And in certain environmental conditions in the spring as this tree leaves out, that ruffled edge can be a bright orange red, which is really beautiful, contrasting against the yellow green on the interior part. It gets more and more yellow as that summer goes on. Guys, and Irene, great narrow yellow Japanese maple for your garden.
This is another great one for the container garden, guys. Easy to grow, durability off the charts, and that ruffled leaf really gives it something extra. I mean, this one has a lot going on. If you're a fan of yellow, I think you got to grab Aunt Irene. It's one of the best yellows I've ever seen. You know, hot blonde, summer gold, now Aunt Irene. I think the heat tolerance is there on this one as well. I feel confident now saying that this one can go in some hotter spots in the garden, have some of that same resilience you see with summer gold. Absolutely love it. I always see people asking for yellows for sunlight. Aunt Irene seems to do it up to zone 8. I've been really impressed with it. And that border is something super special. Pair this with something like Geisha Gone Wild. You're gonna get some incredible color palettes. Yeah, it's a Japanese maple with a lot to offer.
Guys, next up we got Acer palmatum Butterfly. Butterfly is a classic variegated Japanese maple that has a blue-green foliage and a white margin around each and almost every leaf. In the early spring, our first leaf's out, it'll get a little bit of pink. Guys, this is a great upright in that 8 to 10 foot in 10 years. It has just this really dense, compact habit. It'll get twiggy growth. We call it like a bouquet maple because we like to put it somewhere up close so you can really appreciate that variegation.
Great container plant as well. Giving this one more shade light, you can get even more of that white coloration going on. I like the cream on mint. I think it's a fun color. That's my favorite color. It's kind of going into summer. That soft green palette with that creamy color to it. Now fall colors kind of reverse. You'll get some darker reds on the greens, some pinks where that white is. All around awesome plant. You do want to trim any reversion you see on Butterfly out. So if you see any all green, I recommend removing that. Absolutely love this plant though. It's a showstopper. I don't think any Japanese maple collection is complete without a Butterfly. I'm always impressed with its heat tolerance. And again, like the Aunt Irene, I wouldn't consider this a columnar plant, but it is a very narrow Japanese maple. So upright stature to it, doesn't make a huge canopy to it, and it really lights up a dark spot in the garden. All right, guys, next up, we've got the Fountain of Youth, guys. Ponce de Leon searched for this Japanese maple his entire life. You can get it right now on a 10 at 10.
Guys, Fountain of Youth is one of our members of our Pendulous Treasures collection. It was a seedling from the Nakakomoto Weeping Legacy. You know, that old 400 to 600-year-old tree in Japan. This one is unique because it has a hand-like leaf to it, where the leaf is deeply divided. Unlike many of the straight palmate leaves that we're familiar with in that Ryusen family, this one has a more deeply divided leaf. It has coral pink new growth to it. And guys, it just has a really nice cascading pendulous nature.
Oftentimes in early spring when this one's leafing out, you'll get a whole pink color on this one. My favorite fall color of any of the Ryusen styles. I think this one beats all the Ryusen styles. I get electric orangey yellow with some red hits going on there. When the tree first leaves out, it can be a pink shade, the whole thing, kind of a salmony pink color with some yellow in there. Really gives it a really nice spring interest. Don't let this leaf shape fool you. A lot of people confused on this one. Is it a lace leaf? Is it a Ryusen style? This tree is going to be shaped like Ryusen. So just as pendulous, just as narrow, just as drooping as something like Ryusen, Golden Falls, that kind of shape. But with that heavily divided leaf, gives it something completely different. Very unique Matsumura style. You don't typically get the Matsumura style from the Nakakomoto Weeping lineage. So really cool here. Something a little more outside the box. And yeah, it's kind of a, people tell me all the time, well, I'll be dead and gone before that one gets big. That's why you need a fountain of youth, so you can just stick around and see it grow forever.
And it cascades. It has that strong pendulous nature to it. It's really beautiful. It's fun to be able to shape and to train this how you want. These are on a stake right now up to about, I guess, 20, 24 inches. They're going to cascade off of that. If you don't want it to be something that's going to be, really high, you can just let it cascade and almost become like a little ground cover across. You can use this in a hanging basket. These stakes come off pretty easy. In fact, sometimes they may actually remove them during the shipping process. But you can easily have this tree just sort of crawl across the ground and be a ground cover in a unique way, in a unique fashion in your garden.
You can put it out with Blackbeard's Gold as part of our History Nerd series. All right, y'all, we are bringing back Hot Blonde, named for my smoking hot wife, Amy. Got extra credit for this one, guys. One of my favorite trees ever. Actually, it is my favorite tree ever. Jim Putnam did a cultivar highlight on his channel on this. It is an awesome looking tree. You've seen us talk about Hot Blonde before. Fast growing, great colors. Give this one some sunlight, you'll get the more yellow shades. They can be a little greener when they first leaf out with some red. That's common. When they get that little bit more sunlight, you start to get that like glowing yellow effect to it. Absolutely love Hot Blonde. It's an Acer olivieranum that I think is probably the best in show for Acer olivieranum to me.
It's one of the best in show for yellow as well. It's very vigorous. It's beautiful. It gets out there really quickly. It's probably best in show for its beauty, but it's also best in show for being a yellow. I mean, this thing really gets out there and gives you some good yellow color out there in the landscape. It's found as a chance seedling of Acer olivieranum, likely a hybrid with Acer scirocyalanum aureum, the gold one, full moon maple. You know, aureum sometimes when it leaves out in the spring will have a little bit of a red border around the edge. We're actually seeing that right now, just that iridescent red border right now on these particular 1 gallons right here on the table. It's very unique. It's very beautiful. And it's easy to grow. Guys, it loves the sunlight and it gets more yellow as the season progresses. And it is one of the fastest growing Japanese maples you can have in your garden.
I've been shocked by this one's performance in Dallas, guys. Right now we're rating this as a 6 through 9. We're very close to calling this a Zone 5 plant. So I have a lot of people growing this in Zone 5 with good success so far. I've been very impressed with it. Late to leaf out. Cool characteristic for this one. You don't see that with all Acer olivieranums, but very late to leaf out. This typically leaves out for me in the garden after Emperor 1 and Tamukiyama. So one of the very last trees to leaf out in the summer, spring, and that's an awesome characteristic to it because it makes it a little bit more cold tolerant as well. I'm absolutely loving this plant. Again, my favorite maple. It's a Chinese maple, Japanese maple, but it's my all-time favorite maple, Hot Blonde. All right, y'all, let's bring back a fan favorite, Acer palmatum peve starfish. They call it a starfish because it's shaped like a starfish.
Guys, the leaf cups downward in a unique way, giving a unique texture out there in the landscape, giving that starfish claw-like habit. This gives a very unique texture to be put out there against many of your other trees. It'll end up getting about 6 to 8 foot in 10 years, so it's not a very fast-growing red upright, but it fits in a lot of people's ever-shrinking garden. Guys, this tree is beautiful.
Underrated fall color. I did a top 5, or maybe it was a whole podcast on my most underrated trees. This one's fall color is so underrated. It is a hot pink to red in the fall, which is cool, and that claw-like shape to it. Absolutely love this plant. Now, it's not uncommon. These are all very curly right now. They got all the curl to them. Not uncommon for summer new growth to flatten out. Don't cut that out. Just leave it there. It will curl the next season. Juvenile growth can be a little odd on these at times with flattening out, but you will get an overall curling effect as the tree ages, so don't trim any of that out. I've never seen a peve starfish revert to flat and stay that way. So good news on that front, guys. Love this tree, though. Dark bark to it. Great container plant. Makes a perfect pairing with that anirene we looked at earlier. Absolutely love it. All around, one of the coolest Japanese maples, and I think heavily underrated peve starfish.
Take your peve starfish, put it next to your sea urchin, your yellow submarine, and guys, you can start to have that very unique, sea-themed garden out there.
The octopus's garden. All right, guys, grab you a peve starfish on the 10 at 10 today. All right, guys, next up, we got a newer introduction from Talon Buchholz. It is called Climate Change. This is a green dwarf with some unique characteristics.
Yeah, it's got a nice rounded habit. The branches sort of go in all different directions, almost in like a contorted-like fashion. It has very small star-shaped leaves. Then the early spring have a little bit of a purple border to them as well.
This one kind of looks semi-pendulous. It'll definitely throw on a lot of that weeping shape when it's young. Tightens up, gets very dense. Perfect for the Makawa garden. I don't know that I'd throw this one into the Makawa family, but it looks great in a Makawa garden for sure. Yeah, climate change, really durable and absolutely beautiful plant. All right, guys, next up we got Aka Shigetatsu Sawa.
Red snipes flying from the swamp in the morning.
So that sounds like poetry.
It is. And these old selections from Japanese maples often had poetry attached to them.
Who are you calling old?
And this tree is one of those selections from that 1700s list.
That's pretty old.
It's pretty awesome. It's got a unique shape to it. It'll get about 6 feet tall with a semi-pendulous nature. And this is the parent to some of the members of the Go series.
Guys, give this one some early morning sun. You can really hit some of those red spikes in there, kind of translucent blushings of red over top of lime green. You can really get some good color contrast even within this plant. Really a showstopper. I love it for its reticulated nature, but that pink Aka hit on it is really special. Big leaf to it as it ages. I've had some really large leaves on this for a reticulated form. And yeah, put it in your ghost garden. It's an awesome looking plant. Kind of the great-great-grandfather to the Ghost series. All right, Tim, what do we got next?
Guys, next up, we've got Acer palmatum dissectum Dragon's Fire. This is a really nice orange-red weeping leaf selection of a Japanese maple that in the fall turns to a bright orange-red looking like a dragon's fire.
I was going to make a Game of Thrones joke, but I got none because that was so bad. Guys, this one is amazing, though. It has a unique lime green growth to it. So the new growth will be kind of a lime green to yellow. You really get the separation hit even in the early spring where you get this dark foliage, reddish new growth, and a yellowish green kind of stemming to it to the eye, which I think gives it a flame-like effect. Absolutely love this plant, though. Durable, heat-tolerant, colorful. Could rival Dr. Brown for some of those interesting shades in the summer as well.
Yeah, I mean, for me, for the ornatum-like Japanese maples, this one really puts on a show, especially in the fall. It's definitely a winner. I like this orange-red style dissectum because it's not your typical maroon and it's not a green. It's that in-between that pairs so well with either your reds or your greens out in the landscape. Take a green, a typical red lace leaf, and this out there and pair them in a trifecta. You get a lot of different colors all throughout the season.
Are you a secret Targaryen? All right, guys, grab you one of these today. They are high grafted about this far up. Makes a great little palette for it raised up in the landscape there or in the container garden. Dragon's Fire, always a popular one. All right, guys, last but not least, we got Acer Shirosautum Junihitoi. I love this one. It's a unique one. Kind of one of the quintessential Shirosautum leaves, that big round leaf to it. I like as this one ages, you kind of get some fissured type bark. It's not what considered a pine bark, but you definitely get some bark interest on this one as it ages. Great looking plant, good round canopy, all around a really fine full moon maple.
Yeah, I love Junioto. Some people list it as Japonicum. Some people list it as Shirosautum. We go with the Shirosautum here at Mr. Maple. This thing is so dope. I mean, it's got this perfectly rounded shaped leaf to it. It is beautiful. It's easy to grow. It gives you some really nice oranges to yellows in the fall as well. Guys, Junioto, a classic Shirosautum you don't find in the trade very often.
All right, guys, that was just 10 of the 20. When can they find the rest of them, Tim?
You can find it at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time live on Mr. Maple, or right now if you've signed up for our weekly email on MrMaple.com.
Go check out that email to see the full list of 20 trees. And as a reminder, these come out at 10 a.m. Eastern, guys. So if they're not on the website right now, they are coming soon. We really appreciate you hopping in our 10 at 10 video. Make sure to like and subscribe to the Mr. Maple Show on YouTube. We are airing these 30 minutes after on Facebook as well. For the people that missed it on YouTube, hey, check us out on Facebook as well under the Mr. Maple Show and podcast.
Y'all take care.
God bless you.
And have a great day.